Hi my dear students, welcome back to biology online classes. The today topic is regarding development of microsporangia, microsporogenesis, pollen grain structure and advantage as well as disadvantage of pollen grains. That is actually today topic, right? So let's start the lesson with development of microsporangia. When anther is young in condition, group of parenchymatous tissues are present. So this group of parenchymatous tissues which are going to covered by epidermis. So later this anther is going to become as 4 lobes are going to form. So such young anther we can call as tetralocular anther. And later each lobe containing parenchymatous tissues which is going to become as archisporial cells. Archisporial initial cells. So these archisporial initial cells again which are going to divide to form of outer one layer, inner layers are going to form. So the outer layer is called as primary peritial layer and inner layer is going to call as sporogenous tissues. Let's write the points. The first point is when anther is young in condition, group of parenchymatous cells are present. Group of parenchymatous cells or nothing but tissues are going to present, which are going to covered or surrounded by epidermis. Now latter is going to become as what? 4 lobes, which we can call as what? Tetralocular anther. Next, each lobe is containing what? Group of parenchymatous tissues. Each lobe containing parenchymatous cells which are going to divide to form of archisporial initial cells. To form archisporial initial cells. Archisporial initial cells are going to form. These archisporial cells are again going to divide to form of outer layer as well as inner layer. One is outer layer is formed and one is inner layer is formed. Right? Now outer layer is become as primary peritial cells. Outer layer is become as primary peritial cells or nothing but layers, and inner cells or inner layer of which is going to become as sporogenous cells. Sporogenous cells, right? Later these primary peritial cells again going to divide to form of number of multi-layers are going to form. Nearly 3 to 5 layers are formed. These 3 to 5 layers which is again going to differentiate into 3 layers. That is endothelium, middle layers as well as tapetum. Right? So these primary layers which are primary peritial layers which are going to again undergoes division to form 3 to 5 layers are formed. So these 3 to 5 layers which are going to differentiated to form, already epidermis is already there. Next, below the epidermis which is present, endothelium. Next, endothelium. Next, middle layers. Next, tapetum cells. Here. So this endothelium, middle layer as well as tapetum, these 3 layers which is going to come from which? Outer layer of archisporium initial cells. Outer layer which is called as what? Outer layer is called as primary peritial cells. What the point? Next one which is inner layer. Inner layer is called as what? Sporogenous tissue. Now the sporogenous tissue, sporogenous cells are first formed and it is going to become as tissue, and the tissues of sporogenous tissues of each and every single cell we can call as, it is going to act as microspore mother cell, microspore mother cell, we can call as MMC, right? Simple. This is actually topic is what regarding development of microsporangia, development of microsporangia. So next one is microsporogenesis. 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 Right? According to the NCERT language, microspore mother cells, microspore mother cell or pollen mother cells. Here MMC, microspore mother cells, which is undergoes meiosis division, and produce 4 cells. Here we can call as pollen tetrad. These cells we can call as what? Pollen tetrad. In NCERT they asked one question, what is the ploidy of pollen tetrad cells as well as what is the ploidy of microspore mother cells? Microspore mother cell, the ploidy is always diploid. After the meiotic division, the formation of cells always haploid. The ploidy is haploid, right? Next, according to the NCERT language, like each cell of the sporogenous tissues which is going to become as microspore mother cell, all called as pollen potential cells. Pollen potential mother cells we can call. Each cell of sporogenous tissue, each cell of sporogenous tissues which are going to become as potential or pollen potential cells, also we can call as microspore mother cells, also we can call as what? Microspore mother cells. It is also called as pollen mother cells, pollen mother cells. So these all are which the ploidy is what? 2n condition. These all are same type of words. These all are which ploidy? Diploid in condition. Next, definition of the microsporogenesis, 2 mark question. What is the definition? Simple. The process of formation of microspores from microspore mother cells through meiotic division. So that is called as what? Microsporogenesis. It is a process of formation of microspore from microspore mother cell, or we can call as pollen mother cell, through meiotic division, through meiosis division, through meiotic division. So this process is called as what? Microsporogenesis. So this process is called microsporogenesis. Right? Genesis means formation. Microspore means pollen grain. Nothing but pollen grain formation. So here some synonyms is there. Generally the students are going to get confused here. The stamen, which is also called as microsporophyll. It is also called as what? Microsporophyll. It is also called as microsporophyll. Anther, it is also called as the synonym of anther. It is also called as microsporangium. It is called as what? Microsporangium. And microspore, it is equal to which word? Pollen grain. Right? It is equal to microspore. Right? So this is actually generally some synonyms of according to the competition point of view. Right? Next, here now what happened? Microspores are formed. Where the microspores are formed? Microspore nothing but pollen grain. Pollen grain is formed in within the anther, within the anther. At the beginning, the pollen grains, after the meiotic division, pollen tetrad is formed. So these 4 pollen grains are going to join together with the help of callus. With the help of callus. Now we can call as, in this condition is present. So this is one pollen grain, this is one pollen grain, this is one pollen grain, like. So which are joined by the chemical, it is called as what? Callus. It is called as what? Callus. Later, the latter anther is going to mature. After maturity of the anther, dehydrate the anther. During the dehydration of anther, the pollen tetrads, these 4 pollen grains are going to disassociate each other, and each microspore is going to develop as one single microspore, nothing but pollen grain, right? So during the mature of anther, pollen tetrads are disassociated to each other and become as single pollen grain. Disassociate each other and become as what? One single pollen grain. So like thousands of pollen grains which are formed within the anther. Right? So this is actually what regarding one is development of microsporangia, and next one is microsporogenesis. Next, pollen grain. Pollen grain, it is also called as immature male gametophyte. Pollen grain, it is also called as immature male gametophyte. It is also called as microspore. The study of pollen grains is called as palynology. Let's write the points first. Pollen grain, which is also called as microspore. It is also called as microspore. The ploidy is always haploidy. First point. The second, pollen grain, it is also known as immatured male gametophyte. It is also called as immature male gametophyte. Yes, these points are important for competition exam, which is not given in the NCERT, but which are very important for competition exam. The first point, study of pollen grains. Study of PG pollen grains is called as palynology. Next, the study of pollen grains in the form of fossils. It is called as palynology. The study of fossils of only trees, nothing but botany, that is called as paleobotany. It is called as paleobotany. The study of fossils including plants as well as animals, that is called as paleontology. It is called as what? Paleontology. The 4 points are very important. Study of pollen grains is called as palynology. The study of fossils pollen grain is called as palynology. The study of fossils of plant is paleobotany. The study of fossils including botany as well as zoology, it is called as paleontology. The investigation, the scientist we can call as paleontologist. It is called as what? Paleontologist. Next points are like the father of palynology. The father of palynology. His name is N.K. Nair. N.A.I.R. N.K. Nair is known as father of palynology. Next, the father of paleobotany. In India, his name is Birbal Sahani. He is a famous Indian paleontologist, paleobotany. Next, the father of paleontology. or paleontologist. The first paleontologist is Cuvier, G. Cuvier. He is known as first paleontologist, right? Next, according to the NCERT, generally the pollen grain architecture is different in different species. The pollen grains like size, shape, color and design which is differ in different species. Mostly pollen grains are spherical in shape. The diameter of the pollen grain is 25 to 50 micrometers. The next point is pollen grains they differ in different species. They differ in size, they differ in shape, they differ in color, as well as they differ in design. External architecture is differ in different species. Next, pollen grains generally mostly pollen grains are spherical in shape. The diameter of pollen grain is 25 to 50 micrometers, right? So this is actually pollen grain information. So let's start with the NCERT information like pollen grain. So pollen grain actually it is also known as what? Immature male gametophyte. The pollen grain which is consist of two walls. Outer wall is called as exine and inner wall is called as intine. The pollen grain which containing two walls, here the outer wall we can call as exine and inner wall is called as intine. Exine as well as intine. So let's start with the exine layer or exine wall. It is outermost, right? So this exine layer in the most of the species which is going to made up of sporopollenin chemical, which is made up of sporopollenin chemical compound, right? So this sporopollenin, as you can see, it is most resistant organic material on the earth. It is most resistant organic material to be known, right? So it is resistant in the form of it is going to resistant for high temperature, acidic condition. In alkaline nature also it is going to survive. And still there is no enzyme have the capacity to degrade the sporopollenin chemical, right? Here it is resistant for temperature plus acidic nature as well as alkaline nature. And still there is no enzyme to digest this organic compound, right? Sporopollenin generally it is a polymer of carotenoids, and actually it is made up of chemically it is fatty acid. Right? Next, so generally the sporopollenin in sporopollenin on outer surface we can notice small apertures we can notice that we can call as pores, that we can call as germpores. Exine layer, which is consist apertures what we can call as pores. So these apertures we can call as germpores. In NCERT they are asking the question, what is the function of germpore? The germpore the germpore which is going to help to release of pollen tube. So pollen tube is going to come outside through only germpores. And here some important points are these two important points. Here germpore number also be not same in all spaces. Germpore number also be differ in different spaces. Some pollen grains which are containing 3 germpores, and some pollen grains which are containing only 1 germpores, only 1 germpore. Based on this character also we can recognize the given plant which is a monocot or dicot. See here, if 3 germpores are present, that we can consider as dicot plant. Most of the dicot plant pollen grains are consist of 3 germpores. Next, only 1 pollen grain is present. Most of the monocot plant PG pollen grains which are consist only one germpore. Next, so here on germpore location where sporopollenin which is not going to covered, in this location sporopollenin which is not covered at a germpore location, right? So this is actually regarding exine. So here one more question is there in the NCERT: exine is hard or smooth? Exine is hard. Exine is hard in nature. So due to that, it is going to protect the pollen grains. Due to this nature, which is going to protect the pollen grains from harsh conditions. Next, if the question is, for example, pollen grain can undergo a decomposition. The question if is pollen grain it can undergo a decomposition? No, the pollen grain is never undergoes a decomposition because of due to the presence of thin layer, that is what, sporopollenin, very tough layer is present. So which is never undergoes decomposition. Next, so due to this nature, most of the pollen grains which is going to become as fussels. Due to this nature, most of the pollen grains which are going to become as what? Fussels. So this is actually information regarding exine. Next one is entine. Right? So only 2 or 3 points of regarding entine. Entine is what? Innermost layer of exine. Of exine. Entine is innermost layer. It is innermost layer. First point. Second, entine is which is made up of pectocellulose layer. Entine layer is made up of pectocellulose, which is made up of pectocellulose. Inside of the pectocellulose layer, pollen grain is consist of cytoplasm. That cytoplasm which is going to covered by plasma membrane. Pollen grain cytoplasm which is covered by plasma membrane. The plasma membrane which is made up of lipoproteins. Right? So this is actually pollen grain structure of exine as well as entine. Generally, most of the cases exine layer is made up of sporopollenin, but exceptions are there. Exception is Justera plant. Justera plant pollen grain which is not made up of exine layer. It is a marine angiosperm. The pollen grains are ribbon in shape. Right the point? Exceptions. Exception is which plant? The plant name is Justera. The plant name is what? Justera. Here the Justera plant pollen grain which is not made up of sporopollenin. First point. Important point for competition. Next, this Zostera, it is marine angiosperma. It is marine angiosperma. Next, Zostera pollen grains which are a ribbon shape, which are a ribbon shape. Next, some more points regarding pollen grain. The smallest pollen grain is Myocetes. The largest pollen grain is Zostera. Smallest pollen grain is, smallest PG pollen grain is Myocetes. Myocetes. Next, largest pollen grain is Zostera pollen grain. Zostera pollen grain. Next, longest pollen tube. Longest pollen tube we can notice in Giamys monocot. Longest pollen grain we can notice in Giamys, such is first recognized by Amazi scientist. Longest pollen grain, longest pollen tube noticed in Giamys monocot. Giamys, right? So this actually the pollen tube is first discovered by Amazi. Amazi is a scientist name. Amazi is a scientist name. Next, here one more exception is, generally after the meiotic division, one microspore mother cell which is going to divide to form of 4 pollen grains, we can call as pollen tetrad is formed. But exception is there. In Cyperaceae family, cyperus plant members which are going to produce only one pollen grain, pollen tetrad is not formed. Right? Got the point? Most of the cases pollen tetrad is formed. Exception is, most of the case pollen tetrad is formed, but exception is cyperus. It is one type of grass plant. So here one microspore mother cell which is undergoes meiosis division to produce only one pollen grain. Pollen tetrad is not formed. Pollen tetrad is not formed. Pollen tetrad is not formed. For example, in the competition exam, the questions are, for example, 10 microspore mother cell, 10 microspore mother cells which is undergoes meiosis division. In the normal case, how many pollen grains are going to form? So 10 microspore mother cells, each one is going to produce 4 pollen grains. 10 into 4, it means 40 pollen grains are formed in normal case. So if the same question, for example, 10 microspore mother cells of cyperus plant, 10 microspore mother cells of cyperus plant which are undergoes meiosis division, then what the number of pollen grains are going to form? So in that case, here 10 microspore mother cells which is going to produce only 10 pollen grains, right? So this is actually regarding pollen grain structure. Matured pollen grain. Matured pollen grain which is consists of 2 cells. The 2 cells are formed due to the mitosis division and unequal distribution of the cytoplasm. 2 cells are formed. So one cell is big in size, that is called as vegetative cell. One cell is small in size, that is called as generative cell. Right, the point? The first point is matured pollen grain, matured PG pollen grain which consists 2 cells. These 2 cells are formed due to the mitosis division. These 2 cells are formed due to mitosis division or also unequal cytoplasm division. Due to that, what happened? 2 cells are formed. So these 2 cells, one cell is vegetative cell, one cell is vegetative cell and another cell is generative cell. Another one is generative cell. So this vegetative cell, it is big in size, and a generative cell which is small in size, right? So let's write some points regarding vegetative cell. The first one, vegetative cell. So vegetative cells which is big in size, right? And you can see large amount of food molecules are present. Large amount of food molecules are present. Nucleus is irregular in shape. Irregular in shape. And this vegetative cell which is not followed by any division, which is not followed by any mitosis division. Any mitosis division. So this is first one, vegetative cell. Next, generative cell. Next one is what? Generative cell. So this generative cell which is small in size, which is consist less amount of food molecules, less amount of food molecules. And third one is mostly it is spindle in shape, which is spindle in shape. Spindle in shape, right? And this small cell which is going to floating on, cytoplasm of vegetative cell. Cytoplasm of vegetative cell. And these generative cells which is again followed by the mitosis division, again undergoes a mitosis division and produce two male gametes, which is again undergoes a mitosis division to produce two male gametes, right? Next, here mostly the pollen grains are going to shed off. Mostly the pollen grains which are going to shed off at a two-celled stage. It means after the first meiotic division which is going to shed off. 60% of angiosperm pollen grains which are going to shed off at only two-celled stage. Remaining 40% of angiosperm pollen grains are shed off at a three-celled stage, right? And in gymnosperms, cycas plant pollen grains which is shed at a three-celled stage, right? Here mostly pollen grains which are going to shed off at a two-celled stage. 60% of angiosperms which are going to shed off at a two-celled stage. So remaining all 40% of pollen grains which are going to shed at a three-cell stage. Next, one of the gymnosperm, the name is cycas plant. So this plant pollen grain which is going to shed off at a three-celled stage. Right? So let's say here this is actually pollen tetrad is formed first, like pollen tetrad. Here you can see pollen grain 1, 2, 3. So which are jointed together with the help of callus, right? During the mature of the anther, this callus is going to disintegrate and become as single pollen grain. This is nucleus. We have to make one more line, right? So this one is what? Exine layer, and this one is what? Intine layer, and this is what? Nucleus. This is nucleus, right? At the beginning actually here number of small size of vacuoles are present. When during the pollen grain is matured, what happened? The small size of vacuoles all going to fuse to form of big size of vacuoles are going to form. So this is actually nucleus, right? So this is actually vacuole 1 and vacuole 2. So this is actually what? Nucleus. Next, so this nucleus nothing but pollen grain, right? Sorry, this is actually pollen grain. Now matured pollen grain here, which is undergoes metaphase, prophase, metaphase, anaphase. During the anaphase here, like spindle fiber is going to form. Like, so this spindle fiber is asymmetric spindle fibrae is formed. Due to the formation of asymmetrical spindle fibrae, so unequal cells are formed. Here this is vacuole, right? Now it is going to become as formation of matured pollen grain. Now here one cell we can write, right? And here also one cell. So this is large cell we can call as vegetative cell. This is small cell we can call as generative cell. So this is actually what? Intine. And here one more layer is there. This is actually cytoplasm layer inside of intine. And here this is exile. This is exile. In somewhat location what? Exine, sporopollen is absent. So it is going to make a small pores. These are the small pores. So these small pores we can call as what? This small pore we can call as germopore. It is called as what? Germopore. Now this pollen grain we can call as what? This pollen grain is called as matured pollen grain. 60% of pollen grain which are going to shed at this stage. This is actually what? Matured pollen grain. Right? Next, advantage as well as disadvantages of pollen grains. Advantage and disadvantage. Advantage or what? Most of the pollen grains is going to use as pollen tablet, pollen syrups. Let's write first one. Advantage regarding pollen tablets. Pollen tablets. So these pollen tablets are which are rich in protein as well as carbohydrate, which are rich in carbohydrates as well as protein, as well as unsaturated fatty acids also be present. Unsaturated fatty acids also be present. So due to this nature, the pollen grains which is used as food, it is in Western countries like England, these pollen tablets as well as pollen syrups which are available in market also. Now these pollen tablets as well as pollen syrups which are used for increase the performance of athletes as well as horse race. So in such condition also be these pollen tablets as well as pollen syrups are used, right? So the point what I have to write here, the pollen tablets, pollen syrups which are available in Western countries which are used as food supplement, food supplement, also used for what? Increase the performance of athlete as well as horse race. So this is actually one advantage of pollen grains. Next, disadvantage of the pollen grains. Most of the pollen grains which are going to cause allergy, pollen allergy, which are going to cause chronic respiratory disorders, Put the heading pollen allergy. Most of the pollen grains which are going to cause allergy that we can call as aeroallergy, which are going to cause chronic respiratory disorders such as asthma, bronchitis, as well as hay fever. So the hay fever which is going to caused by Congress grass, nothing but Parthenium hysterophorus. The Parthenium plant which is entered into our country by importing of contaminated wheat. The plant name is what? Parthenium. The plant name is Parthenium, which is also called as Congress grass, which is entered into the country by importing of contaminated wheat, which is going to cause the hay fever. So most of the pollen grains like Parthenium, next Amaranthus, Parthenium, Amaranthus plant, as well as castor plant, and most of the grass plants pollen grains, which are also cause the pollen allergy. It is a disadvantage of pollen grains. Next, pollen grain PG viability, nothing but germination. So pollen viability is different species. The pollen grain, if the pollen grain is going to drop before the viability time on the stigma, then only fertilization is going to occur. After the pollen viability, the pollen grain which is not going to germinate on stigma. So it means that which is fertilization which is not going to occur. Right? Pollen viability like cereals, wheat as well as rice. In wheat as well as rice, the pollen viability is only 30 minutes. And some plants, for example, Rosaceae plant, Leguminosae plants, nothing but beans, legume plants. In such case, it is going to nearly 3 months. Right? So here the pollen grain germination power, nothing but pollen viability, which is different in different species. Right? That is regarding pollen viability. And the last one is one more, like pollen storage. Like pollen bank. Like for example, seed bank, DNA bank, germplasm bank. Like that we can store the pollen grains also. So it is, we are going to store the pollen grains for years we can store. So here the pollen grains which are going to mix with a liquid nitrogen, which are going to store at a minus 196 degrees Celsius. So in such condition they are going to store. By this we can store the pollen grains several years. So such type of storage we can call as cryopreservation. Right? So this is actually entire lesson today. One is microsporogenesis, pollen grain structure, as well as advantage and disadvantage of pollen grains. Right? Thank you all of you.